Hello friends, my name's TheRealEmile. Most cars don't get more iconic than the Ford GT40. Developed for a grudge match and later becoming one of the most successful race cars ever, the GT40 began life in the early 60s when Ford tried to buy Ferrari. However, after a last minute change of heart by Ferrari, Ford wanted blood, and were better to hit Ferrari than on the racetrack. With both American and British engineers given blank checks to produce the car, they made a world-class machine that dominated Le Mans from 1966 to 1969, as well as some other motor races in the 60s, and with minor changes being made each year. When the GT40 was retired, it became an icon, with Ford even reimagining the car as the Ford GT supercar, which is currently about to go into its second generation in 2017. Although the GT hasn't managed the same level of dominance on the track as the GT40, it certainly makes a nice alternative to the usual slew of Ferraris and Porsches. The GT40 is the Mark II version here in Forza 5, not the race version. This is the road car. It has 485 horsepower and weighs 2,683 pounds. Now, the GT40 is actually kind of a strange car to drive. It does feel relatively nice. However, I've spoke about dodgy gearboxes on the track a lot. The SL65 and the McLaren F1 spring to mind for that. However, the GT40 has the worst gearbox I've ever dealt with on this track. First gear, well, is limited to 85 miles an hour. I'm not joking, I never used third gear on this track. I'm literally using first and second. So the gearbox isn't great, but as far as the drive, it's relatively nice. Sure, it does feel like an old car. The suspension's a little bit wobbly, and it can go sideways, but when it does, it's very controllable. It doesn't twitch or anything like that. Yeah, I enjoy driving it. As far as the PI on this, it is the absolute top of B class, 600 PI. That actually makes it exactly the same as the Shelby GT500 2013 model. And I've got to say, this is better to drive than the GT500 was. Yeah, the GT40 was a fairly nice car. It did surprise me how terrible the gearbox was, to be honest with you, but pretty nice car to drive overall. Anyway, onto the time, and it goes into 45 with a 120.736. Beating the Ford GT, yes, but however, that was one of the first cars to ever go round. But it does beat an Alfa 8C, TVR Sagaris, Corvette C7 Stingray, Jaguar XKRS. It beat the Shelby as well. That is very quick for an old road car. Yeah, the GT40 is definitely a fast car around here, although I will say it's very expensive as well. Anyway, friends, that is going to be it for the single Top Gear laps that I've been doing. Thanks to your feedback, I will be continuing this into Forza 6, although I'm not quite sure which cars I'm going to use yet. Even in the normal Top Gear laps, I still don't have a bloody clue. So if you've got any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And yeah, I hope to see you in Forza 6, and I hope you'll continue supporting this series into Forza 6. I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been TheRealEmile, and until next time, farewell.